Have you ever found yourself holding back from showing up fully? Perhaps hesitating before you push the publish button or downplaying your achievements because you worry about being judged or misunderstood. I've been there too. As an introvert for a long time, being visible was really hard for me. And today I am going to walk you through exactly how I overcame and continue to overcome that fear, and how you can too, using practical neuroscience-backed strategies to shift from fear to confidence. So if you stick around, you'll learn how to show up authentically without stress, without anxiety, and without feeling exposed. To start with, let's define visibility. Visibility is not just about being seen, it's about showing up fully as yourself, authentically, without masks or filters. And authenticity means being real, it means being genuine, and being aligned with your true self. The challenge for all of us is that the more authentic we become, the more vulnerable we can feel. And today you're going to learn how to navigate that vulnerability confidently and powerfully. And by the end of this video, you'll understand, firstly, why visibility feels so scary from a neuroscience perspective. Two, how to shift your mindset around visibility. And then I'm going to give you 3 powerful strategies to confidently step into your authentic self and be visible. So, why does it feel so scary to be visible? The fact is that our brains are wired to keep us safe, and the fear of visibility actually triggers our brain's threat center, known as the amygdala. The human brain is strongly wired for social connection. So, when we anticipate being exposed or judged through being visible, our brain interprets that as danger, and it activates the whole threat response, which is designed to protect us. On top of that, because of things that we've heard growing up, like don't be so extra, or you don't have to be so out there with things, or keep your head down and don't show off, we've internalized those messages and we've put them into our own programming. We've really programmed our own minds. So let's do a quick exercise. Do a quick exercise with me and take a moment. If you need to pause the video and think about a time when you were called to be visible and you held back, where you didn't deliver your full authentic self. And while you're in that moment and seeing the moment, ask this question: what is it that you were really afraid of in that moment? If you want to share in the comments. I'd love to hear what comes up for you, because that is the deep fear that's stopping you from being your authentic self in a visible space. And here's the shift that changed everything for me. The thing that I realized is that visibility is not about being perfect. It's actually about being of service and connecting with other people. You see, when we show up authentically, we actually create a deeper connection with our audience through mirror neurons. And these mirror neurons allow our audience to resonate with us and relate to us in a more strongly connected way, because the mirror neurons generate oxytocin, the bonding hormone. And oxytocin helps to create trust and build empathy and openness. And that makes it easier for our audience to genuinely receive the message and engage with what it is that's so important for us to get across. So, to be very clear and transparent, authenticity doesn't mean oversharing, and it doesn't mean perfection on the other hand. What it does mean is it's about consciously choosing to show up as the real you consistently. Why consistently? Because all of your audience's brains, including yours while you're listening to me now, are scanning all the time for inconsistencies in behavior. And the more that you are consistently showing up as the same version of you, the greater the trust bond that you can develop with your audience. So let's look at 3 neuroscience-backed strategies that you can use today to help you to settle into confidently being visible. The first thing to do is to regulate your nervous system. When fear kicks in, your nervous system goes into overdrive. And one of the techniques that's very, very effective is to use your body. You're taking your body with you into your visible and vulnerable space. And box breathing is a technique that signals safety in the brain because it activates that part of us known as the parasympathetic nervous system, though you don't need to remember that, but that is your body's natural calming response. So when you breathe in a controlled rhythmic pattern like box breathing, it signals via the vagus nerve to the brain that there's no immediate threat. Because let's think about this. If you were running away from a saber-toothed tiger, there would be lots of shallow breathing and lots of accelerated heart rate, right? So when we can mimic the opposite of that, which is calm breathing, our heart rate slows down, the vagus nerve sends a message to the brain to say, it's nothing to see here, folks. And it allows us then to feel calmer and clearer and more in control. So let's try box breathing now. It's a very simple technique. Simply inhale for a count of 4. Hold for 4. Exhale for 4. And then hold at the bottom for 4. Now you can do this as frequently as you like. And because happily you have your body with you and it doesn't cost anything, I recommend using this technique before you go into a space where you think that you might be triggered and you need to be visible at the same time. And you can do it until you notice your heart rate starting to slow down and your breathing to start becoming more regular. And what you should notice is right now, even I'm expecting that if you did the exercise with me, already you're feeling a little bit clearer and calmer. So strategy number 2 is that to create a visibility identity. Now, much of what we need to do when we're going through change is actually about creating a new identity for ourselves. And the brain finds it helpful if it can create a mental image of who the person is that you're wanting to become, this confident, authentic version of yourself in visibility. And that helps it to anchor itself so that you can overcome the fear. Why this works is because the brain doesn't have the ability to accurately distinguish between a vivid image, imagined image, and an actual pre-existing memory. So you can rerun this imagery over and over and over, and it's actually going to activate the same neural circuitry as if you were remembering a time when you were confidently being visible. So let's practice. Close your eyes and imagine what it would look like. Where would you be? What would you be doing? Maybe you'd be on a live, maybe you'd be on a stage, maybe you'd just be talking in a meeting at work. But close your eyes now and imagine where you are when you are confidently being visible. And then importantly, to help this process, think about how it feels. Think and let a little smile come to your face because now you know that here you are showing up authentically. And repeating this visual over and over in your journaling spaces or when you do your mindset work in the morning is going to strengthen the neural networks associated with showing up visibly. Strategy number 3 is to utilize micro visibility actions when you get started. If going live on social media or public speaking feels too big for you right now, start with small, repeatable activities. The stages that you've gone through that I've taken you through, firstly, regulating your nervous system primes the brain for learning. A dysregulated nervous system and a brain that's flooded where the amygdala is activated isn't in a learning state. So when you've now regulated the nervous system, you've visualized the future state that you want to go to, and then you close the loop by acting. The brain's natural neuroplasticity starts to that completes the cycle of neuroplasticity. And this is something called Hebb's law. Neurons that fire together wire together, and the brain is looking for ways to save and conserve energy. So the more that you can wire the neural networks that you want the brain to use, the more it's going to create a space and an action where instead of taking the shortcut road to fear, it's going to take the highway to happiness and to positivity. And that's done through this process of regulate my nervous system, visualize the future outcome, and then do micro activities. So what does that look like? Well, maybe it starts with just starting and beginning to share on social media for yourself. Maybe it means speaking up in a meeting or a group. Or it might even, and this is a really easy one to do, is share something that you're already excited about. Share a win. It feels better and easier often to share something we're excited about because there's less fear of judgment. Pop a post up every day of one of your wins on a daily basis. Now, what's happening in your brain every time you act and nothing bad happens, because the truth is, if you experience this, nothing bad happens, particularly if you're going to share wins, people are going to give you a whole lot of positive feedback. What then happens is that not only are you closing the loop on the neuroplasticity activity, but you're also creating a store of evidence for the brain to reference the next time you think about getting visible. If we think about where you started in the beginning, the idea of getting visible, the brain was looking for reference points. What happened when I was visible before? Did I get judged? And when it doesn't have enough data, it's automatically going to go down the fear path. So the more that you can give it data to draw on and past evidence to say, well, look, this is what happened. It's what I've just talked about in strategy 2. You're now not only created a visualization, you're also now creating actual memories of when I was visible and it was successful. So these repeated micro actions are a way of reducing fear by building positive neural network and neural circuitry for yourself. And over time, what happens is you get this upward spiral of positive reinforcement inside the brain, and you're feeding your own neurochemicals. So you have the ability to rewire your own brain and to help your brain help you. Because even in the beginning, when it was triggering the fear response, it was trying to help you, not necessarily in the direction that you wanted to go. And so now you have a set of tools and techniques to help the brain wire itself in the direction that you do want to go. So, to be clear and honest, the fear of visibility is very normal and it's never going to go away entirely. You'll find that there will be certain spaces or times where it's easier and you're less likely to get triggered. And the more that you practice these techniques that I've given you, two things will start to happen. One, you'll get triggered less frequently. The fear will come up less often when you start to initiate a thought about becoming visible. And two, you'll be able to switch the alarm system off a lot quicker. So the length of time that you stay in that triggered space will shorten. Though because of our brain's natural propensity for social connection and this inherent underlying fear of being judged and then being excluded from the social group, there are always going to be times when the brain is going to give you a fear response to the next level of visibility that you go to. And so remember this. You have the ability to help your brain, help yourself. You run the brain, you are the boss, so you've got that skill. But more importantly, the world needs to hear from you. It needs your unique message. Your message is important, and the way that you interpret the world and your vision for things, there is no one else who sees it like you do. And it's so critical that you get that voice out. So please use this video if you find that you are stuck or blocked from becoming visible. Subscribe to the channel if you find these videos helpful. I release a new one every week on some different aspect of empowering you to help your brain to achieve whatever you want in life. So subscribe down below, put a comment in the chats about what you found most valuable and what are you going to implement first out of the 3 strategies. If you want more deeper personalized response, you can join the Freedom Collective, which is a membership where we work on this on an ongoing basis, layering on different neuroscience techniques and skills and strategies that are practical for you to help you to master whatever part of your life or your business that you're working on. So until next time, remember this, stay authentic and stay visible, and just keep helping your brain to help you.